This here says the first three terms of an arithmetic sequence is T5. If T5 is 10, T10 is negative 30. So to answer this, you remember from arithmetic sequence, how exactly would you start or would you approach this question?
From arithmetic sequence,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to get our first. We don't have it, but our first term which should be A, and our
Okay.
difference.
So you're saying A, right? But you don't know.
And the difference.
The difference also? Yeah, and that's good because at least you know for arithmetic sequence there's always an A and a D. But because of this sequence here,
No, Mr. Timmy, I know how to do this. I just didn't know how to do it.
oh, okay,
At
so you
this
know how to do
point,
it now.
this will this be simultaneous equations
It
where you
probably
say
will
now
be. Sorry?
you say A
Mm-hmm.
plus um n would be 5, so it's what is it? 5 minus 4, 4d. So a plus 4d equals 10
Exactly,
on this, and
right?
then this side would be
So basically you're saying you start with this, right? You have your equation for arithmetic sequence. And I'm guessing that's where you got your T5 is equals to A plus 5 minus 1D. Yeah? So it is 10 is equals to A plus 4D.
yes,
Yeah? So if you do it the exact same way, it will be negative 30 is equals to A plus 90.
and the
Right? Then using simultaneous equation, so we call this equation 1, this here, equation 2, we could say that, should we say 1
a
minus 2 or 2 minus 1?
10 minus 4d.
Yeah. No, because I'm thinking that if you subtract equation 1 minus equation 2, you can eliminate
Oh, you're
A.
doing that. The what do you call it? What's that one called?
Elimination
Elimination.
method, right? Which one?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Or,
elimination.
or if you want, okay, another one, I think maybe what you're thinking about is this, right? A is equals to 10
10
minus
minus 4.
4D, and you have
Mm.
this as A is equals to negative 30 minus 90 to agree with the assessment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have 10 minus 4D is equals to negative 30 minus 9D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so simplifying this here, this is going to be 10 plus 40, sorry, 10 plus 30, which will be 40, is
Mm-hmm.
equals to, that goes over, that's negative 9
Minus
plus 4
5d.
minus 5D. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
It's
D
negative
is
8.
equals to negative
Neg
8, right?
8. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Then to get your A, you just need to substitute into any one of them. So I have A is equals to 10 minus 4 minus 8. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
10
Plus 20,
plus
32.
32.
Mm.
Okay, so that is
42.
42 is equals to A. So now your sequence is 42, 50, and 58. Do you agree?
Yes.
And that's it.
No, minus. Onto subtracting.
Oh, good gracious. Sorry about that. So it is 42
Mm-hmm.
minus would be 30,
36.
34.
I don't know, 34.
Yeah, 34. And this is 26, right?
26.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
26. So there you go. That's your sequence.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense, Miss Alan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you even did more though. You said
That's weird.
consider the geometric sequence 8x squared plus 4x cubed plus 2x to the 4. Find the common ratio in terms of x. Okay, so your answer was half. Yeah. Huh?
Hmm.
Okay, half x. Yeah, no, it's correct. Maybe as you wrote it made me. So normally, I think I was thinking maybe you write it something like that, or you write it something like this. But when you wrote it something like
Uh,
this, it looked like it was like 2x in the denominator.
uh,
You get what I mean? Okay.
yeah.
So it says determine the nth term of the sequence. But this isn't wrong. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't wrong. And I'm very sure if I check in the memo, I'm probably going to see them writing something, especially because it's 1 mark. Yeah. But if there is a way for you to simplify it, try as much as possible to simplify it a little bit more.
Okay.
You understand? Actually, it's be way too complicated if you simplify it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Did they simplify it more? Yeah, they didn't. It's fine.
Right, like 2 to the -1 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. This 8, so that you combine the twos together, then the x together. But now it's been way too complicated for 1 mark, so it's okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry?
okay. No, I was saying how.
Oh, how? Oh, okay. Here, look. So basically, it's like saying you have 2 to the 3, and this is x squared. Then this one here is 2 to the negative n minus 1, n plus 1, and this one here is x to the n minus 1, right? So combining this
Yes.
here, you're going to have something like 2 to the 4 minus
-1.
n times x to the
N plus 1.
n plus 1. There you go. And that's the answer. But as I said, it's way too complicated for just a 1 mark question.
1 mark, yeah.
Exactly. They said determine the values for x for which this series converges. Dude, what's up? You know this is wrong, right? Or it's half right. Let me not say it's wrong. It is half right. Actually, it is
Yes.
actually even wrong. They are both wrong. I'm even looking at it now. Because r is never greater than 1 if it converges. So it's less than 1. This is if it divides.
What am I doing? I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah,
So is it great as less than 1 and greater than -1?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was expecting you to do. But
Okay.
you do get the concept. So basically you put the r in between there, right? So it's like you're saying
Yes.
1 over 2x, and that is plus 1, and that is -1, yeah? So on both sides you have -2, x, +2. More or less.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Sum to infinity. Sum to infinity. Let me just check if this is just right. I think it should be 16. Absolutely right. Calculate sum to infinity if x is 32. Wait, curious. Oh, they told you x is 1. Okay, okay, yeah. So this is x is 32. So the answer. This was a trick question. That was why it was 1 mark.
But why is say calculate? Why say calculate?
Yeah, they're crazy that way. They're assholes that way. So the answer there was it doesn't exist. And the reason why I think they're saying it doesn't exist is because r would have been equals to 16. Yeah, and you see that you didn't. So basically, yeah, right? It is 1 over 2x. So it is 1 over 2 times 32, right? Which is 16. I remember for infinity, it also has to converge. It has to always be between -1 to 1 for you to use sum to infinity. So if you're getting r at 16, that doesn't make sense. So there's no reason. There's no way you can get the answer. Do you understand? Because I see that you changed this part here. You wrote this here, but you forgot to change that bottom part.
Did it too, yeah.
You see, you were kind of lucky. That means you were very lucky here that this was 1, so you did not change the answer. So when you wrote 1 over 2, there was no difference. You get what I mean? Yeah. They said calculate showing all workings. This. What happened to this one?
I don't know.
Is it that you couldn't get it, or is it not know it, or some other stuff?
I don't remember. I don't know. I
Oh,
probably got stuck with like trying to understand what I was trying to do,
okay.
like what I was trying to look for.
Okay. So let's see if we can try to figure this out. Um,
Yeah, what are we looking for? I think my problem was I didn't know what I'm looking
Oh,
for.
they just told. So remember
M.
that sigma, right? Sigma means sum. So they're asking you to
Mm-hmm.
find the sum of this whole thing. That's literally what they're asking you to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it says sigma 9079 at the top, m is equal to 0 at the bottom, and this here
80.
is your equation. Now, whenever you get a sigma notation, the what you always need to get first is your first three terms. And the reason why we get our first three terms is
Mm.
that it determines if it's an arithmetic or a geometric sequence,
Oh,
right? Okay,
yes.
so all we just need to do is
Mm.
plug in, right? So you plug in from the first one that you have here, and three terms are two terms after that. So you're saying negative
Mm.
1, 0 plus 1 over 2 to the 0. Okay, so this here would be negative 1, and that is 1, so that is just negative 1
Negative one.
over 1, which is negative 1. That's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you plug in the second term. The next in line would be 1 plus 1 over 2 to the 1. And in that case there, that would be
Negative.
negative 1, right? Still, no,
Oh,
no,
no,
actually
no.
it's
One
2.
over.
So it's 1 over 2, yes, 1 over 2.
Yeah,
And
negative.
finally, the last one would be negative 1. And you're going to
Yeah.
have 2 plus 1, right?
So negative.
Yeah, 2
Mm-hmm.
plus 1 over 2 to the 2, which is negative 1
Negative.
over 4. Do you agree with that assessment? Okay,
Yes,
so it
sir.
means that my sequence is negative 1, 1 over 2, negative 1 over 4. Okay, so let's clean all this out.
And it's geometric.
Yes, so you obviously know that this would be geometric, and the reason why is because when you divide your second term by your first term and your third term by your second term, they give you the exact same answers.
Mm.
Yeah, so in this case here, when you divide this two, it's going to give you r is equals to negative 1 over 2. So this is our a,
Yes.
and that is my r. Now, like we said before, sigma means sum, so they're literally asking you to get the sum. But the sum of what? So you need to
And
actually know what the n is,
mm-hmm.
right? And you calculate the n of a sigma notation by subtracting the top minus the
On the
bottom,
bottom.
then add
Plus
1,
one.
right? Yeah, so it is 79 minus 0 plus 1, which is 80. So now we have everything. We have a, we have r, and we have n. Okay, so putting all this in, you're going to get
That's 80.
S80 is equals to, okay, let's use this one. So we're going to use a
1 minus
1
r to the
minus rn over 1 minus r. Okay,
mm.
you can use either one, either use this or the second one. Both of them works. So this here is a is negative 1.
Negative 1, yeah.
1 minus r is
Negative
negative
half.
half. Negative half, and to the power of 80 over, that's a horrible line, but bear with me, over 1 minus minus 1 over 2. Okay, so put all that in
Okay.
your calculator. What does that give you?
Where's my calculator? You know what? I just ditched school. Screw everything.
Oh wow. As I've been following Arsenal closely this this for a while. I'm very sure your dad must be ecstatic.
He's very happy.
He's not going to be happy. They're actually starting. They are starting right now,
Oh,
and
they're playing now.
they are playing now. Yeah, I'm going to switch on the TV very soon to see how these guys
But
are
it's
going to do.
Everton.
Sorry, with
It's
Everton.
Everton.
Yeah, they got a new coach recently, so you never know.
Oh, did they fire that guy? That
Hey,
guy's
they
doing
fired Lampard,
nonsense.
man. They fired Lampard. But they got the former Burnley coach is now their coach now.
Mm.
Okay, so
Also Leicester City.
sorry,
It's negative two. It's negative 2/3.
negative two-thirds.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this should be. Let's check that real quick. 1 minute. Exactly. Absolutely right. Negative 2/3 is absolutely right. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, so determine the greatest number of terms for which the sum of 8 plus 16 plus 32 would be less than 504. Are you able to answer this? Or can you answer this? Even if you
No,
didn't
I
answer the
stopped.
question,
I
can you
can.
answer it
I
now?
just stopped.
Sorry?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay. So how do you normally answer? You don't need to do the whole thing, but how will you normally answer this type of question?
So the greatest number of terms for which that is that. Is this infinite or no?
No, it's not.
Okay, will be less than. So number of terms. Term the greatest number of terms for which the sum of. Okay, so Sn is less than 504.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I forgot we have A and we can get D. Or is it R? It's R. Okay. Let me start at the beginning. So you get your A, which is obviously 8.
Okay.
Then R is 16 divided by 8, which is 2.
Okay.
And then so your formula would be 8, what is it? 8
Okay,
R
no, no, no.
to
Forget
A.
about the formula, right? I know you know the formula. So basically,
Okay,
you're
yeah,
saying
right.
you get your A, you get your R,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Then you are saying also that your sum would be less than 504, right?
Less than 504,
So,
yes.
yeah, so you take the formula of your sum of this sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say it's less than 5/4, then plug in your
Yes.
A and your R, then
R,
simplify,
yes.
right?
Yes.
That's it. That's
Yes.
all I needed from you. As far as you understand that part, we're good.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Um, consider the sequence of the general term. So this is, I think it is
For
probably a quadratic, right?
yeah, it's probably quadratic. Yeah, it is quadratic.
Okay. Okay. Will you try? I want you to try this question. The reason why I want you to try this question is because of the next one. By completing the square, show that all the sequence will be odd.
Okay.
Do you understand? Okay. So I want to see how you answer this using that one over there.
Okay.
Okay. So try that out. Should I move it up for you or something? Oh,
No, no, no. I can move up. It's just I'm trying to think.
oh, okay.
How am I gonna do this? I know. So now the maximum value is 27,
Oh, okay.
which is an odd number, but I don't know how does that have to do with anything.
Okay. Okay. So
Mr.
we're
Timmy, I
able
can
to.
explain it. I just don't know how to say it.
I'm
I just
sorry?
don't know how to write it. I'm saying I can explain it, but I don't know how to write it mathematically.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me try to hook you back 1 minute. So looking at
So
this one
let
over
me
here.
explain it, and you'll tell
Sorry?
me how to do it. Let me explain it, and then you'll tell me how to do
Oh,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely. You're going to explain it just now. I just want to look at this one real quick. So you did your general
Okay.
term of your sequence, which is awesome, right? You got your A, you got your B, you got your C, and that's your equation. Okay. Then you came here, you did your completing the square, right? They said by completing the square, show that all terms in the sequence will be odd, right? So I see that you brought out two. Dude, did you really bring out two? You didn't bring out two for this. Wait, hold. Oh,
No!
okay, you did. Hold on.
Oh, yes, I
You
did.
did.
Oh, thank goodness.
Sorry
Oh,
about
you
that. You
made me
did.
feel.
Okay, so I think I almost gave you a heart attack. So you did. So, so you did the completing the square. The completing the square part is good, right? Yes, it
Yes.
is. Very good. Okay, so wait. Oh no, it's not. This here says
What?
n squared plus 4n, right?
Mm-hmm.
This two should have changed places. This one here. It should be
Is it
plus
plus or minus?
4n plus 4 minus 4. Because if you have your sequence, right, it's going to look like this. It's going to look
Mm-hmm.
like this is what I wanted. It should have been n squared plus 4n plus 4. Now, this one here would have given you n plus 2 and n plus
Mm-hmm.
2, which is n plus
Mm-hmm.
2 squared.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? That's the problem with this question here. So this one here should have been negative 4. So it should have been 19 over 2 minus 4. What does that give you?
Okay. It's 11 over 2.
There you go. So this one here, we're changing that,
11.
would be
So
11 over
my
2.
reason was to be the
And
same.
this will be 11, and this here will be plus. Okay?
Plus. Okay.
Yeah? So let's just change all that there so it makes more sense. There you go. So if this is the case, right? What do you do next? Okay, yeah, what was your reason? Yeah, so we'll take it from there.
My reason, right? So it's still the same reason.
Yes.
My reason was that the second term is an odd number.
Okay.
And now because the first term, because you're timesing the first term by 2, anything multiplied by 2 will be an even number.
Okay, so well, why didn't you just take it from here though? I was hoping you just take this instead. Instead of saying the first step, start with this. Use that. Use your explanation you're giving now. Start with this and use it to
Uh-huh.
explain it.
So so that's squared.
Mhm.
It will be positive.
Yes, it will be positive, right? It doesn't matter the value to be
Yes.
positive, right? So you can start with,
It
so
will be
more or less,
positive.
as you said, it is n plus 2 squared, yeah, would always be greater,
Positive.
let's say
And
greater or
0.
equals to 0. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, when the answer you get here, when you multiply that answer by
Multiplied by 2.
2, right, it would always give
Be
you
an
an
even
even
number.
number. I'm guessing that's where you're going from, yeah?
Yes.
Then
Yes.
how do you end it?
Anything. An even plus an odd is always odd.
Exactly. Plus 11 will now definitely give you an odd number. And that's it.
So how would you write this? Would you write an essay, or would you like literally do this?
Yeah, you could write it step by step. So you start with n plus 2 squared will be greater or equals to 0.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
then on the
Okay.
next line, you now say the answer you get from here times 2 would make it an even number. Then plus 11
Mm,
would make it an odd number. And that's all. Let me
okay.
even see how they did that in the memo. Um, yeah, more or less. So they just wrote even plus odd is equals to odd. That's all. That was the whole explanation they gave. That is all the explanation they gave in the memo. That's ridiculous in
Yeah.
so many levels. But anyway, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is it for this paper.